The future of work is here, and it's called Agentic Workflows. The things that you can automate in your job right now with Agentic Workflows are just mind-blowingly endless. You want AI to analyze your calls and update your CRM? You can build a workflow. Need to run spreadsheet calculations and build a report? There's a workflow. Need to make a coffee and have it delivered to you? Okay, not yet, but let's wait a couple years. The video you're watching right now was edited with an Agentic Workflow. That's how powerful it is. In this video, I'm going to explain to you what an Agentic Workflow is, how they work, and how they're different from other automation tools like N8N or Make. And finally, I'm going to show you one in action. So let's get into it. So what is an AI workflow? So pretty much all it is it's like an SOP or a job to be done where you lay out a bunch of different steps for an AI agent to complete. And with that, what you have are these things called skills. Now, all skills are basically instructions that you give to an AI agent about how a certain thing can be accessed or completed. So that sounds a little bit vague, I know, so let me get into it. It can be something like how to read your Notion page, or like how to create a document in Notion, or how to edit an image file, or something like that. That is a skill. And so what we do is we equip our AI agents with these skills, and then we give him a set of instructions. So you have to do step 1 first, step 2, then step 3, then step 4. And because they have this intelligence inbuilt inside them, they're able to accomplish these things, trial and error, or find solutions to difficult problems. They don't get stuck in the same way that traditional software would, which is what makes it really, really powerful. So here's some examples of what you can do with AI agents. So for example, you can have a workflow that is something like read unread emails, sort by importance, draft replies. Then he can ask to review them with you. So you can interactively go with your agent and talk about, oh, I want you to change this one a little bit, or that one looks good. And then he can send off the replies, right? Which is absolutely amazing. Another one could be finding a spreadsheet on your drive, running some calculations through it, saving the results, drafting and reviewing a report with you or with someone on your team who needs to usually make the reports. And then he could also send it to the client. The possibilities of this are really, really endless. Like there's so many different workflows that you can make. So it's really just about your imagination and what is the current work that you're doing, and how can that be given as instructions to these agents for them to perform the task. So what makes up a agentic workflow? There's really 3 things that it is comprised of. The first one is an interface, and this is how you interact with your agent in your workflow. So there's a few different tools here, like OpenCode is the one I use. I absolutely love it. Then you have things like Google Anti-Gravity, Claude Code. Now, a lot of people think that these are just for writing software with agents. Now, that is the initial, or that was the idea, the purpose of it. But what I've really discovered is that it's way, way, way more powerful than that. These things are going to be used across the board for every single job type, every single industry. It's just absolutely crazy. The things they're doing right now with code are brilliant, but the things that they're going to be doing outside of the software world is unbelievable. So don't be scared of this, and don't think that it's just for software, because really it's not. But anyway, moving on. So the next thing we have is the data. So this is what I would consider the skills that you give to the agent. So we want him, for example, we might want him to access files on our computer. We might want him to access Notion. We might want him to access something in Google or G Suite, Microsoft, whatever it is. I mean, it's really, the possibilities are endless with this. He can pretty much connect to anything as long as it has an API for that software. He can connect to it and he can start performing tasks that you normally would. So think about the things that you're doing in work every single day, the softwares you're interacting with, and the way you're moving files around, the reports you have to build, etc. He can connect with those as long as you make a skill for it, so he understands how to do it. The agent will be able to figure it out. Pretty crazy. And the next thing that you need is you need a process. And this is really the workflow. So we have the way to interact with the agent and we can communicate. We have the skills. Now we just need to give him the correct instructions, right? We need to have a way to have this workflow, have the steps laid out. This is what you do. This is what you shouldn't do. This is what success looks like. This is what failure looks like. So that when he's reading the step and he's like, oh, okay, I need to go to Notion and I need to, download this thing and then I need to go, move to the next step. Like he needs to understand what the specific criteria is of the goal. And the better you can explain this to him, the more likely he is going to succeed with it. So the next question is, how is this different to no code? Like, what is the big deal? Why is this such an important thing? And I kind of made a little bit of a list here of what the differences are. And Make and N8N are really awesome. They're very, very good for automating a lot of different things. But when they're especially good for when the task is quite basic or it's very, very rule-based and there's not a lot of variability in what's happening, then it's kind of like plumbing, which can allow you to make these really good, reliable workflows. They're also very, very good for scheduling. So if you need to run things on a timer consistently, very, very useful for that. Things that are just unambiguous, like, you have to process, a lead list and you need to enrich it with this data. Like if it's very, very rule-based and it's really strict and structured, then they're very, very good. What they're not so good at are complex decision making. So if you need to, if there's a task that's kind of complicated or it's a little bit more vague or it's a little bit more abstract, like for example, if you need to, draft up a LinkedIn post or something and you need to do it in one shot without your interaction with it, then that can be really tricky to get right in something like N8N or Make. And they're also fragile, like they can break quite easily. If there's one error, like it's not able to make the request correctly or something like that, you can have an error. And you need to create all this plumbing to fix the issue and to make it reliable. So pretty much it needs to have clever planning in order for it to run smoothly. So the difference when you're using AI agents and agentic workflows is that the first thing that I wrote, adjusting autonomousness, that sounds really way too complicated, but pretty much what it means is that you can make this thing run autonomous or you can interact with it as it's going through the workflow. So if it's a really complicated thing, like you're trying to structure a post or something, then you can talk to him as he's going through this workflow and you can discuss things and say, oh, I want to change that or I want to change this. If he's writing a report, for example. But at the same time, like if you were doing that, you could just give him like a file and say, hey, this is exactly how I want it laid out. And he could do it autonomously. So you have a lot more flexibility. It's really up to you how you want to run these workflows and what's the best thing for your business. He can do very challenging tasks. So if he fails at something, the agent will think about where he went wrong and he'll try something new. So he can do very, very complicated tasks and run through them in like a problem solving way, which is just mind blowing really. And that's why I think this is really the future of work, because we're really offloading intelligence here to computers. It's robust. So as I said, if he fails once, he's going to try in a different way and he's going to try to run through and problem solve in order to complete the step. And then he's just learning from mistakes and he's just willing to try again. And there's a much higher chance of success with complicated workflows using agentic workflows than there is using something like Make or N8N. Okay, so let's see it in action now. What I've got here is my terminal with open code, and we're going to run a workflow, which is going to take one of the videos I made, and it's going to get the video file from my computer. It's going to extract the audio from it. Then it's going to upload it to get a transcript, download the transcript, and then it's going to send it to Notion for me to be able to view. So in order to do that, all I'm going to do is type execute, and then I'm going to get the workflow, which is called create transcription. This one here, workflow. We're going to hit enter. And now we're just going to go through the different steps. So the first one is that the agent is going to ask me what video I want to actually make a transcript of. And okay, so he's asking me, so the current folder is what are agentic workflows? That's not the one I want. I want to do the Claudebot setup one. So I'm going to say, could you grab the Claudebot setup one? And yep, so now he's grabbed that. And I'll say yes. And now he's finding the video files. So the one that we want to is number 2. So that's the actual entire video. So I'm going to press 2. And now that we've selected the video, he's going to do all of that stuff completely automatically. So I can sit back, relax, and just watch the show. Okay, he's made the audio file. So now he's going to send it off to get transcribed. Over here you can see he's read the skill that he needs in order to transcribe the audio. So he's uploaded it for transcription, and now he is just waiting to get the transcription done. So he set a timer. He's fetching the full transcript. So all of this is completely automatic. I'm not doing anything. And even when he runs into mistakes or errors, he just fixes it up. This isn't even the most powerful model. This is Gemini 3 Flash I'm running right now, but he's still able to get it done. So now he's uploading it to Notion. He's created a Notion page. He's uploaded the file. Okay, and it looks like he's done. So let's go check it out. Okay, so here I'm in my folder with the video content, and this is where I'm storing all of my transcripts. As you can see, he created this one here called Claudebot Setup. And if we go over here to the transcript folder and click that, we've got the entire transcript from the video I made ready to go. You can see that's all there. We've also got the transcripts for words, like the timestamps of everything I said, which is exactly what I want. So yeah, that is the power of workflows. I barely had to do anything, and the agent did everything. All I did was I just told him what file to look at, what project I wanted, what file to look at, hit enter, and then he does everything, all of the other things. So this is really up to your imagination. You can make workflows for pretty much anything you want. It's really, the world is your oyster with this. So that's it for this video. If you need any help setting up workflows for your business or anything else AI related, there's a link in the description where you can book a call with me and have a chat. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.